Hi there, welcome back. This is Dia Spice. Okay, today I'm going to explain a manifestation technique. Let's call it detachment. Okay, in the previous video I had taught you about detachment, but probably that would take some time, right? You would have kept some time in your phone and then want it to happen. But suppose you want immediate results for your manifestation, then this is what you have to do. Okay, there are 4 steps. I have kept them in front of me. Okay, the step 1 is let go of that attachment towards your manifestation. Let go. Don't be attached to your manifestation. For example, if your manifestation is something to do with say getting yourself, if you're overweight, trying to lose weight and coming to an ideal weight, let go of that attachment that you have towards getting that proper weight on the scale. Get completely detached with it. Or if you have given an audition and you're desperately waiting for it, it's like desperately waiting for a result to come anytime, and you're having nightmares. If that is the thing, then first step, this is actually quick. You just have to go through with me with these 4 steps. Don't be attached to your detachment. Step 1. Step 2, think of the worst scenario. Think of the worst scenario and make peace with it. It's like, for example, you did not get through in that audition. They just declined. They found someone else. Okay, you have to think that, okay, suppose that is your manifestation. For example, think of the worst scenario. You want some relationship to kick in, and that hasn't happened. You want some kind of business to flourish, and it won't happen. So the worst thing that can happen is the business failure, correct? So that is the worst thing that has happened. Think of it. Think of it for the time being, and be absolutely happy with it. Absolutely make peace with it. Okay, got it? So that is step 2. Step 3. Think that the worst scenario is actually the best scenario. Think that the worst scenario is actually your best scenario. Say, for example, you didn't get through the audition. So that is the worst scenario, right? Make that as your best scenario. You didn't get through that audition. Your business enough ratio. Go and give a party on it. You should be that happy with that result, that it didn't happen what was supposed to happen. You just be extremely happy with your worst situation that can come out of this manifestation, and make peace with it, and think that that is the best scenario that can happen to you in this goal. Okay, think that the worst scenario is your best scenario. Now, the last step, 4th step, think that worst scenario has happened and move on to something else, something new and exciting. Okay, now, like for example, you say that the worst scenario has happened. Say that your business has failed. Say that you did not get through that audition. They just called you and said no. Okay, think that something like that has actually happened. I'm just saying, I'm just asking you to think. Okay, it's not necessary that all these things are going to happen. Think that the worst scenario has happened and move on to something new. Just get rid of that mind from that manifestation, that audition, that weight loss, that business. Get rid of that thought completely by moving on to something new. Something like you want to go for mountaineering. You want to go cycling, or you want to go kayaking, fishing, snorkeling, anything. Just move on to something that is very exciting to you. Okay, or if you are or for some people it could just be like, go and watch those movies, or just do something that is totally, and something that is very different from your manifestation. Very different. And you guess what? You know what's going to happen after this fourth step is done? Your actual manifestation will happen. Yeah, the thing that was you were desperately hoping, and you were looking, so much attached towards it and waiting days and nights to get that result, that will show up. The moment you let go, the moment you think that the worst situation is anyway going to happen, okay, and the moment you think that that situation has happened and move on to something very exciting, okay, forgetting completely about that whole thing about your manifestation, then this thing that you were so fond of is just going to show up for you. Okay, so try this technique of manifestation. Let's call this a detachment, and let me know the comments. And if you like me to make these kind of videos, you can show me some interaction with your comments, like whatever, and do subscribe. And okay, let me just summarize to you. Step 1, don't be attached to your manifestation. Step 2, think of the worst scenario and make peace with it. Just be extremely happy and contented with the worst situation that can happen when this manifestation doesn't happen to you. Okay, then the third step is think that the worst scenario is your best scenario. Okay, this is important, and you got to genuinely feel about it, that whatever outcome you are expecting hasn't happened, and if it hasn't happened, that is the best thing that has happened. That's the best scenario for you. Okay, so be happy with this worst scenario and make that outcome of the worst scenario as your best scenario. Think of different ways of making that as a best scenario. Let's say, for example, that particular relationship didn't work out, then you are free, right? You are free to choose many other in the pool. And let's say, for example, that interview, that audition didn't get through. The best situation, the worst situation that can happen is that you didn't get through, but it opens up so many avenues for you, right? Like you can try so many other things, so many other areas. So think about the worst scenario and think that that is your best scenario. The last step is think that the worst scenario has happened and move on to something else. Maybe like you want to do art, you want to do some pottery or ceramics or knitting, whatever. You just think that the worst scenario has happened and move on to the subsequent project, which is exciting to you. And then the moment you do that, your manifestation will show up. Believe me, it works. Your manifestation that you have been trying so hard will happen once you genuinely show detachment. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for the support shown, and I'll meet you soon.